I don't think any of us need to repeat the reasons why we need to be sensitive to emissions, the effects of humans on climate change and air quality. If somebody needs to be reminded, you come to the wrong meeting. But sometimes it's not as obvious why, besides protecting the planet, we need to take some actions to reduce the utilization of our resources. I'll describe as mayor of America's fastest growing big city why we have embraced the idea of reducing our energy consumption. In the hydrocarbon world, the hydrocarbons are becoming more scarce and becoming more expensive. For many American families, their utility bill ranks right after their mortgage payment is the biggest bill every month. For many families, it's higher than the interest they pay on the mortgage note. For some older and seniors, it's a difference between medicine and being able to have some heating or air conditioning in times when it's needed in order to maintain the health. That's another reason why we need to be focused on and reducing the amount of energy that we consume. So what are we doing? Well, you know, in commercial build, we'll have, by the end of this year, maybe we can get in a competition with these cities. I'd like to. It'll be a friendly, wonderful competition. We want to have the highest standard building code of any major city in North America, and I'm sure somebody will come after us and have it even higher. The second thing, and really this is the most exciting, I've been working in these fields for many, many years, and people have had these hobby projects, and they've shown, well, I don't want to get into it, but they've had the press conferences, and they've shown the examples, or the pilot program, or the gimmick, or had the public ads and said we're green, but if you look at the end of the year, did the city consume less than the beginning? We're deciding to make it a campaign and identify these neighborhoods, and as a service that we offer for free. Everybody who wants it, pressurize the house, seal the leaks, put insulation where there isn't insulation, check the AC, insulate the water heater and the related pipes, and replace the light bulbs with CFLs. If we're serious about this issue, that we're in this together within the airshed and the planet, then this is for all of us. And more importantly, there's no American, and I said no in either North America or South America, there's no consumer who wants to pay more for power that I've ever met, so long as they can do so in a responsible way. And if we decrease the demand for power with the infrastructure that we've already built on generation and transmission and distribution, I can show you as a matter of math, supply and demand, that we'll be able to force prices down for everybody. The public is demanding that we do some things new and different. In Houston, we're doing that. And I'll conclude by telling you what our goals are, and we will accomplish these goals within this community. We are the energy capital of this hemisphere, and some say the world. What I'm talking about here is mainstream. Politicians and businesses and polluters who do not get it, they are out of touch. This is our goal, and we're well on the road to achieving it. Through a coalition of cities, we have killed the permits for 11 new proposed coal-fired power plants, which would have contributed. We will have some more renewable resources, but we know that our greatest resource of all is energy efficiency.
Our cities are now where most of our people live throughout Latin America. For some of us who come to politics from an environmental background, cities were, to a degree, prohibited outpost. That's not where conservation took place. Conservation took place where biodiversity remained. However, with a strong shift of population to cities, and the fact that cities are where the waste is being generated, wastewater, and of course solid waste, where energy is being consumed, cities being where policy is being made, cities is where energy is being consumed and produced in many cases. Cities are evidently now one of the frontiers and the crucial battlegrounds for the environmental future. Are we truly doing more today for the environment than we were doing a decade ago? Is there more awareness? Are we actually changing the way we go about our business? I am personally highly frustrated with the fact that change has been incredibly slow and decay, threats to the environment are so destruction of our biodiversity and our resource base. I was chatting with Sylvia about oceans without fish, or the famous empty forest of researchers who posited this theory about a decade ago. I am more and more frustrated with the fact that destruction is clearly and continues to clearly outstrip our efforts to contain it. Destruction, overconsumption, pollution, the destruction of our biological base of biodiversity on Earth clearly continues to outrun, to outstrip our capacity and our concrete actions to guarantee conservation and to guarantee the basis for sustainable development. I would also ask, do we really have the basic legal, institutional issues in place throughout Latin America? Have we seriously looked at what is in place in terms of urban plans? And Jaime has been not only in Panama City, but in David, helping us put together our urban development plans. Are these really in place throughout our hemisphere? Do we have the building codes? Do we have the environmental codes? The basic laws that will spur and guarantee sustainable development into the future in our cities? And the answer is clearly no. How do we give the opportunity of a better standard of living to our population, while at the same time guaranteeing that it is sustainable, as my friend Stefan Schmidheiny would say, not only financially over time, but also environmentally? How can we guarantee that this growth will be permanent and that we can, in an intelligent manner, provide energy, provide drinking water, provide treatment to sewage water and brown water, provide appropriate waste management to our expanding urban populations? These are the issues that we are facing throughout the hemisphere. Behind all of this is one constant. We keep destroying the little of what's left of our biological diversity and our natural environs. Because whenever you talk to an urban population, issues, social issues, jobs, health, education, welfare, pensions, these are the issues which are at the forefront. And we as political leaders respond to this, just as Mayor White does, or as my good friend the mayor of Porto Alegre would do. This is what we respond to, and it is our obligation, our responsibility. However, in the shadows, while we deal with the everyday crisis or the everyday imperative to see what we're doing to provide energy, to see what we're doing to provide public transportation, to solve some of these issues, there in the shadows, in the periphery, our natural world is dying. We continue to destroy the little that's left of our biological heritage. In Panama City, this is especially clear because within the city we have a spectacular metropolitan natural park, a tropical rainforest in the city, which is in turn connected to another system of parks, el Parque Camino de Cruces, Parque Nacional Soberanía, el Parque Nacional Chagres, which together provide the protection for the Panama Canal watershed. In other words, the vital protection to our key economic asset. It's incredible, but these forests, these vital natural resources, which are the basis of our sustainable economy, and the canal, our key strategic asset, are ever saw under attack.